Hey, what's up? It's Edwin and another video, but this time a special one since it's the update to the collection of end of 2021. Finally got around to actually make this update to give you guys an idea where the collection is. I'm just gonna give you a quick pan. So this is the 2021 statue update room tour. It's been a long time since I actually made an update to the collection, and I'm happy to actually show you guys now where things are. There's been a lot of changes since I actually did an update. Many statues have left and others have come in. In this year I had a few statues that came in that have made it to the collection. I'm very happy where I am at the moment. So I'm trying to stay to specific lines in the collection, and I've been doing good so far. I've been trying to really purge some of the statues that really don't go with these specific lines that I'm collecting, and making space for newer statues here. So let's so just to give you an update on the display, there's been about 3 or 4 different ways this room has looked in the past. This is the latest iteration, and basically I put together this shelves. As you see, the one you're looking at is actually 10 feet wide, and I like where it is so far, but I would like it to have at the bottom a little bit of storage for the spare parts of the statue, so I can actually use those and switch them once in a while. So that's the idea, and eventually obviously it's going to be the 2 lines are going to be shifted, and maybe the idea is to actually eventually put glass here, so they will look they will have a little bit of museum type of look, and that's what I'm trying to go for. The other thing that I want to do also, obviously, have them a little bit more spaced out, so they do have that museum look. I think every piece should have space in between, just so you can take a look and appreciate the arc and the statue itself. So I know my collection's a little tight, so some of the statues might have to go just to make space and actually have that look and feel. We're gonna get started now with the first line. As you see, my main line really collection that I'm really happy about. It's taken a couple of years to really get all of these guys together, but it looks really amazing in person. But these statues look amazing in person, and I'm happy to have them. And we're gonna get started with the first statue, and obviously this line is the Xmen Studios the Transformers line, the 1/10 scale Transformers line from Xmen Studios. And the first statue that I got from this line, as you're looking at, is Optimus Prime. Really awesome colors there with the red and the blue. Really the paint application, it looks amazing to me. There are a little bit of scuffs, just like a battle damage, a little bit on the legs and all that. But they did a good job. There's a couple of switch outs on this statue. It also has a light feature there in the middle, as you saw the spark is, and also his head, that the actual eyes light up. So it's really nice feature there. Awesome base, as you can see, lots of details everywhere on this statue for sure. You could definitely find new things to see in this statue. Beautiful, and I'm happy to have this. It was the first statue, as I said, and I really love it. And as with any other statue in the line from Xmen Studios and the Transformers, you get the piece that is transformed as the truck, as you see with Optimus Prime. It's a pretty heavy piece, and it looks really nice. A lot of details there too. Really cool looking statue overall. Love Optimus Prime that got this line started. And now on to this big boy. We're talking about Grimlock from Xmen Studios. This thing is huge. You know, when I received Optimus Prime, I thought it was actually very, very big statue because of the base and how wide it is, and just how tall Optimus Prime is. But comparing it to Grimlock here, it looks even a lot smaller. It looks tiny. but this guy is just in huge, really incredibly big statue, something that you really need a lot of space to display. He looks amazing. He has a really commanding look over all of the Transformers here, and it's really one of the big highlights of the collection. The colors pop like crazy. You can see that yellow, different tones of gold, and that reddish with that really cool metallic look all over. It looks just amazing. Definitely very happy to have this statue in my collection. Let me give you a quick look at just some of the details of this statue. I'm gonna have actually a review on my YouTube channel. I know there's a lot of reviews, but I'll do one just to give you my thoughts on this statue and how beautiful it is. As you see, the base, awesome colors, awesome details, rivets, all kinds of different textures throughout the whole body, colors, different colors and different shades. But it's just very impressive. It has also two switch outs with two big arms. This whole arm actually changes, also that one. And look at this weapon here, as you see, the sword. Very awesome. I mean, very impressive when you see it in person. I'm very happy to have this statue in my collection, even though it took about a year plus to get to me because of COVID and everything, but it was definitely worth the wait. I'm happy to have Grimlock, and it's definitely one of the highlights of the collection here. And this is the piece that comes with Grimlock, you know, given that he's obviously a dinosaur, and the way they made this guy, you can just appreciate all of the different shapes, geometric shapes they had to use through, just as you see, the head, but throughout the whole body. It's incredible the amount of detail and work that has gone into this statue. It's definitely, to me, you know, many people don't want to use the word, but it's definitely a grail. It's one of those really iconic pieces that is going to be in my collection for a very long time for sure, and it's going to be something that's going to be sought out by many collectors if they didn't get a chance to get it. All right, let's move on to the next piece in the Transformers line. As I said, these guys are 1/10 scale, but they have the size of a 1/4 scale overall. So they're pretty big statues. And we're looking at now a Megatron. Megatron, I believe it was my second piece that came in from the collection. And as you see, different colors of that gray and light gray and that red, really cool looking, very nicely done. I really like the portraits, and both portraits that come with this statue. Really good details on Megatron, and the portraits definitely did a great job to get this with the look and feel of the G1. Both portraits look actually really nice on Megatron. I love the colors. I love the look of this sword type of weapon here that he has, and it has that really cool looking gradient overall there that makes it look really nice. Beautiful statue. Also the base, similar to the other pieces there. They really go well together because they are pretty much from the same base. Big weapon here, you see. Beautiful stuff. Happy to have him in the Transformers line. The piece that comes with him obviously is the transform weapon or gun, pistol that he becomes on the comics, on the G1 comics there. So that is Megatron from Xmen Studios. Let's move on to a really impressive piece in my opinion. This has got to be definitely also up there as far as my favorite statues, because when I saw this in person, when I got it, I actually PO'd this pretty much right when I saw it because I knew it was going to be an awesome piece. Xmen Studios eventually gave us the surprise that they're going to be including the cape there along with the crown, I believe, and it added so much to this statue. An amazing design from Xmen Studios. He's pretty beefy, he's tall. It's a very commanding statue in your collection for sure, and these guys all together just look incredibly impressive for sure. I'm very happy obviously to have Starscream. Just to show you a little bit, the base also goes along with the others, different parts there that are broken up, and just a little bit of the body, as you see, different parts, different colors on that gray, again with a cool blue, red, and different colors there. A lot of details, since this guy is an actual airplane. the turbines and different parts of the plane itself from Starscream. Obviously the wings there in the back look really cool as well. But definitely the highlight obviously is that portrait with the crown, and like I said, the awesome color scheme of this cape just pops. And when you see it in person, that's one of the things about the statues overall, but when you see these well-designed statues in person, it's such a big impression that it leaves you, just because, not only because they're huge, a lot bigger than you really can tell on video, but just the color scheme and all the work and all the details is just incredible how much work goes into these type of statues. So as you can tell, I'm extremely happy also to have Starscream, one of my favorite characters in Transformers. And here's the piece obviously that comes transformed by Starscream there. Really cool looking big jet airplane here. Awesome piece also, colors are beautiful. So that's the main line as you see that I'm collecting. I'm happy that I'm collecting, that I started collecting this line from XM Studios. I definitely think that it's a key part of my collection for sure. And now obviously I wanted to add more pieces to this. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have the space, but I really like Soundwave. There was some issues as far as him not being the same scale as this guy. It seems to be a little bit smaller, and I've seen already some pictures since there's already collectors receiving it. That's something to think about because I have them on PO, so I'm not sure I'm gonna be keeping that PO or probably eventually go to other pieces. I hope that XM Studio actually brings out a couple of more pieces, including some more actual Dinobots. That would be amazing. I'm hoping they can do Slug, Galvatron, and some others there. So that is the XM Studios 1/10 scale Transformers line. And we're gonna go now into the bottom line. As you can see, this is my quarter scale line. These are all from different companies, but let's get started and show you that one-off statue here that I have is the Sideshow Deadpool. And Deadpool, I really like the base. It's really unique at that explosion. It looks amazing with that pose. It's a really dynamic action pose that he has, and I really like it. So he is in the collection, and a one-off statue, but I really do like it. It's really cool. The first piece in the Spiderman quarter line is the 2099 Spiderman from Prime One Studios. A really cool piece, beautiful colors as you can see on this piece. The base itself also has some really futuristic color schemes and look and feel there, and I really like this piece. I was able to get it now. It's actually very hard to find. I love this color scheme, and I love the way that Prime One Studio actually did this statue. Moving on to one of my latest pieces that came in 2021. I always wanted to get this piece ever since I saw it. I know there's a couple of other new versions now, a couple of other options that you can get, but for me, Prime One Studios, the Iron Spider Prime One Studios is one of the best pieces that they have as far as Spider-Man. I have other options, like I said, but this one for me is really color scheme really pops. I think both portraits were pretty well done, including that one looks really good overall. Nice paint, and I like how he's actually about to take off. So and really impressive to see the actual legs. As you can see, they're very wide, and they look the spread of it looks really impressive when you see it in person. Let's move on to the next piece, and one piece that I think obviously many have said that it's not as appreciated as it should be, and is the Mysterio XM Studios. Kind of like an older piece, and I was able to get them for a great price also from Singapore. Beautiful piece. The colors on this thing are amazing. The color on the cape also is very cool looking, and that green just pops all over the place. And I think this is one of the best pieces that there is on the Spider-Man line that XM Studio has. I really like it. I'm happy with it, and I'm glad that he's part of the Spider-Man quarter scale collection. Moving on to another piece that I got in 2021 is the XM Studios Dr. Octopus quarter scale statue. It's really one of the most beautiful statues that I have. One of my favorite characters for sure. And XM Studios really did an amazing job to get the likeness of this guy to that degree, along with all the details that this has throughout the base, the back of that building, even just details on the actual pillar, as you see, Two portraits, one old school and one of the a little bit more modern. Just many details that you can always find new things to see in this statue. I'm not sure if there's any other octopus quarter scales that come close to this statue. I think is the best statue in my mind. Moving on to a piece that once again is actually sought after because of the movie and everything that's going on with Spiderman, and is the quarter scale Sideshow Green Goblin. And for me, this is the best portrait there is out there as far as the Green Goblin. I think is the best one. There's a few that I've seen, even customs that really don't even come close at all. And yes, you know, many also say a lot of things about that base not being the best, but to me it's okay. I think just it makes up a lot with that glider and just the way they made this guy. Moving on to my other Spider-Man here, and is the actually this is my first statue in my collection, the one that really started it all, and it's the quarter scale premium format from Sideshow. And at that time I wasn't really even sure about what the exclusives were or anything, but I did like this guy, and it's just the regular version, but I did like that it was dynamic and the colors were really popping on this guy, and the way they did also the portrait, to me it was really nice, and I really loved it. And the next piece is the quarter scale from Prime One Studios Venom. To me, this thing is one of the highlights in my collection just because of how unique this statue is, and I love everything about it. I think the base is really cool, all the different details and cool things it has there, but the highlight of this thing is definitely this portrait that is incredible in every way, and even has that saliva. It's just awesome when you see it in person. Teeth kind of like dirty, and they look like they actually a little bit shiny, have the shininess. I mean, it's crazy how much detail there is on this statue overall. The color has that bluish and black, really cool stuff. I love this piece, and I think it's gonna be my only Venom statue for now because I'm very happy with it. There are tons of options out there as far as Venom, and I know this guy doesn't really come up much for sale just because I'm sure a lot of people are happy with it. I love it, and I'm happy he's in the collection. So that is the Spider-Man line, and that's another line that I'm trying to complete. And as you see, I'm missing a couple of pieces. I would like to have eventually Electro from Xmen Studios to be part of this collection. Hopefully I'll be able to add Electro, even though I don't have much space. But I'm also looking for a Rhino. And I know there's a couple of great options, including Xmen Studios and a couple of custom groups that I'm part of. So I might pull the trigger there, at least have those two guys here that will be part of the collection. And let's move on now to the third line that I'm trying to collect. And this line is the X-Men quarter scale statues from different companies here. And we're gonna start now with what we have here at the bottom, and it is the quarter scale from Sideshow, the Wolverine. And as you see, the portrait there looks really cool, very menacing as he's about to attack. The clothes also are all metal, really cool looking, and the base obviously really nice colors and everything. I really like this piece. I'm happy he's part of the collection, although he's a little bit smaller compared to the other guys. It looks pretty cool and I like it. The next piece that I think is a great addition to my collection, even though I had Magneto Sideshow, which actually he left the collection. I sold it, and so I can only have one Magneto, and this is the one I chose for now. It's the Xmen Studios quarter scale, the white Magneto, as you see. I think the base on this thing and just the whole presence of this statue just is amazing, and the way he's levitating is just stunning when you see this piece in person. I'm very happy with it, and I can't wait to see what Xmen Studios does with the one they're about to show, and it's a red Magneto. We'll see what happens in my collection if that actually changes and might come into the collection in the future. Another piece that came into the collection is it's in 2021. Right here we're looking at it, Sideshow Gambit, and I actually slept on the statue when it came out. It actually sold out before I can get it, but I was lucky enough to find a fellow collector here in Florida that I was able to pick him up with for a pretty awesome deal. The best Gambit there is. in the market. The XM Studio is a great choice, but this one to me, and it goes really great. It pairs excellent with Rogue, of course, from Sideshow Studio as well. And this is definitely an IPO when it came out. I know she was going to be an amazing piece. Just the color scheme and obviously the 90s portrait is a must in any X-Men collection for sure. And we're moving on to the next piece. Right here next to Rogue is Sideshow's quarter scale cable. To me, the best cable out there is. There's a lot of talk obviously about the XM Studios OG, which is different and it's a nice piece for sure. But to me, this guy definitely is iconic, beautiful sculpture, details like crazy all over the place. Look at all that different type of textures in the part of the body there, in his pants and on the side there. Amazing, all over the place. There's just a lot of details, really cool stuff. And obviously these had to be an EX for me, the exclusive with the Deadpool little piece there. The guns on this thing are just insane, huge, and amazing. And next to him is one of my favorite pieces in the collection. Of course, it's the quarter scale Dark Phoenix from XM Studios. What a beautiful, beautiful piece. Nowadays, this piece is really hard to find. It goes for a pretty penny. It's an iconic piece to have in any X-Men collection. I think it's a must. I got lucky also. I was able to find this from a fellow collector here in South Florida, and I jumped on it because I know she was going to be a great piece to be in my collection for sure. She's beautiful. Details are amazing on that Phoenix there behind her. The color scheme on it, just beautiful stuff throughout, everywhere. The gold and the burgundy along with the fire just pops like crazy. I love the effect of the fire coming up all around her. It's just amazing. I think XM Studios did a great job with her. And the next piece here from X-Men is, of course, from XM Studios, Cyclops. I got the version that has the two torsos, as you can see. And I really love this piece. I think the color really pops. XM Studios did a good job just to get a lot of details on this guy. And also the likeness is very, very close to the comics and how the actual character looks like. It looks great. I love also, just like I said before, the details on the Panther. As you can see, different types of textures, and just even the boots themselves look really great. Color application on this thing is just on point. I love it, and it's right there, and I'm happy he's part of the collection. And as you can see, that is what I have as far as the X-Men. Well, I'm forgetting one thing right here. Let me show you. And it's the XM Studios Weapon X. Another piece that I was able to get from a friend of mine, Alan, in South Florida. I had to jump on this statue. Really lots of cool details, and just the way the effect of the water as it is stepped out of the case there. And as you can see, the effect of that water is really cool. They did amazing. The clothes are metal, and all those pegs also that he has in his body are also metal. Really cool stuff. You have to see this in person. It's just very impressive. And that is my X-Men collection so far. And as you can see, obviously there are a couple of pieces that are still gonna be coming into the collection. I have Storm from Sideshow that she'll be coming in. I wasn't too happy about obviously the edition size of Storm, but that's the only one that I think looks really good so far. So she's going to be joining the collection. I also hope to have the XM Studios Beast joining the collection, and I have a custom Mystique that is going to be coming in also next year. So that'll pretty much be it'll get this pretty much full as far as the X-Men go. So that'll be the collection. There are a couple other pieces that I'm interested in. If I make some space, they might actually join the X-Men, but I'm very happy of the status of the X-Men. So as you can see, my main lines are really the Transformers 1/10 scale that I'm trying to complete. The Spiderman quarter scale from different companies there, that's also a line that I'm focusing on. And then the third line really is the X-Men. Well, even though there are different companies and a couple of customs that I really like, there might be maybe 2 or 3 more that might come in here, and that's pretty much it'll be pretty much complete, because X-Men is just very difficult. There are so many characters, so it's difficult to actually complete the line. My mind, I was hoping to get the Juggernaut at one point, but thing's huge. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have the space to actually have him in the collection. The bottom part here of this display, and I have two pieces here from Star Wars, and as you see is one of my first XM Studios statue, and I believe is the first one, and is the XM Studios Boba Fett quarter scale there. What an amazing piece, beautiful. I love Star Wars. I'm a big fan of Star Wars, and especially with what's going on with Boba Fett now. I'm happy to have this guy in my collection now with so many details, beautiful color scheme, and just to me, underrated piece overall. The next piece that I was so happy to get, and just there's only 250 or something along those lines pieces in the world. There's no more than that. 275 pieces, I believe. And it's the XM Studios Darth Maul. Look at the way he's actually jumping from the speeder there. Just an iconic piece in my opinion. It is really action type of pose here, which I love. Very dynamic. Color scheme on this thing is amazing, and that portrait is just insanely good. I think I haven't seen anything better than that really on a quarter scale. Lots of options there, and even the Mythos 1/5 from Sideshow is really nice, different. I just wish that that line was quarter scale. I would definitely buy some of those if they were. Even I was really looking for a Dark Vader quarter scale. I missed out on the Iron Studios. Haven't seen the new Mythos announcement from Sideshow, even though it's 1/5 scale. It's a really nice piece that would go great with this pieces if it was quarter scale. So I'm still waiting for quarter scale Darth Vader that's gonna join these two guys. Moving on to the next line is also one of the first pieces that I got in my collection, and has been with me for the 3+ years that I've been collecting now, and it is obviously the Titan himself, Thanos from Sideshow. It's only the regular. I missed out on the exclusive. I had just started collecting probably a couple of months after, a couple of weeks after I started collecting, so I missed out. But I had to have him because he's just very iconic, especially the back of this statue, and just the details overall everywhere in this statue is just incredible. Beautiful color scheme and just amazing. I had to have him in my collection. I'm happy. Now there are obviously other options, including the new XM Studios, which is amazing. I was able to see that on another collector's room, and it looks amazing. That's an option. We'll see if eventually I might upgrade, but I'm pretty happy with it right now. It's the Sideshow quarter scale Thanos on Throne. And one of the few statues that I have custom is this quarter scale Spawn, and I really like this guy. That cape is just really big, close to the size of the Hush Batman. I would say about the same size, and it's very nicely done from the base all the way to the details of the body. It could have been done a little bit better work as far as the paint application. Quick switch out there of the actual portrait there from Spawn. But overall, I mean, I really like this statue. There is some work that could have been done a little bit better as far as just some more detailing maybe in the body, and a little bit more also on the portrait there. That seam also was pretty bad. I'm not liking that. That's the only thing. Other than that, is a very nice, cool looking Spawn, and very impressive when you see it, for sure. So that's one of the very few custom statues that I have in the collection. And moving on to one of my most favorite statues in the collection that has been with me for a very long time. And when I saw it, I had to have it. And this statue is from Blitzway. It's the astronaut quarter scale statue. And obviously, as you can see, the details on this thing is just insane. Beautiful. That base is just extremely crazy heavy to be able to sustain this amazing piece. Details like crazy. It's a combination of polystone and also fabric, as you see on the spacesuit. But there's just a lot of work that was done to this collection. Very heavy, as I said, but very beautiful stuff from Blitzway. I know there's another version now that came out that has the first step on the floor there, and he's actually basically about to step up on the ladder. It looks really cool, and I thought about it, but I think still, to me, this is an incredible iconic, beautiful piece that I don't think will ever leave the collection. Beautiful, I'm happy with it, no issues whatsoever after more than 3 years that I have it. And it's just amazing, very happy with it. And let's move on to the bottom of this display here, and let's talk about DC. DC, in my previous room tour, I had actually many more statues from DC. I basically gave up a lot of them because I wanted to focus on other lines. Since I'm not so crazy about DC as a whole, I do like certain characters, specifically as you see Joker, and I love this Poison Ivy. And there's the reason why the majority of the pieces that I had from Prime One Studios actually were sold. But the two main pieces that I have now from DC, the quarter scale Poison Ivy there, which is an incredible piece. It's a beautiful, beautiful statue, really big statue. You need a lot of space to be able to display her, but she looks insane. I mean, just incredible work that Prime One Studio did here, and the likeness. I think it's really the best Poison Ivy in my opinion. There really isn't anything better. This is actually the 1/3 scale, that's why it's so big. But she's a beautiful statue that is very unique and now very sought after. It's very hard to find, and I don't think she will ever leave the collection. And the other piece, DC piece that I have at the moment is the Prime One Studios Bermejo quarter scale. Awesome piece, beautiful details like crazy everywhere, and also those portraits are just iconic. To me, one of the best Jokers out there in 1/3 scale. And it's just one of the few pieces that I like from DC as far as Joker. As far as DC, the only character that I'm going to be focusing on really is going to be Joker. So I'm going to have Bermejo. Also, Heath Ledger is going to be coming in next year. And I'm going to see maybe have another Joker as well, so I can have 3 of them. But besides that, DC pieces are just going to be very minimal, as you see here. I had the Hush Batman, which is in a box now, and he's going to be leaving the collection fairly soon. So that's pretty much all the DC pieces I have. One of my grails, really one of my best statues in the collection, of course, has to be quarter scale Ghost Rider from Xmen Studios. Not much to be said about this statue. That is just iconic and absolutely beautiful statue. And I'm happy that I was able to get him at the time that I did, because now it's also very hard to find. I'm happy to have it in my collection, and it's the Xmen Studios Ghost Rider. Beautiful and impressive, and just an amazing statue when you see it in person. Another custom statue that is in my collection is this awesome Link from Zelda. Kind of smaller quarter scale type of statue, but really cool details. And I love the way he's actually about to jump. It's kind of like a really cool dynamic piece. Beautiful colors and cool design. There's some talk about it being a little bit weird on the face, but I think it looks pretty good, and the colors on that shield are just amazing as well. Very simplistic type of and small type of statue, but to me it looks really nicely done, and I like this piece a lot. Another piece in the collection is the Hot Toys life-size scale of Grogu Baby Yoda, as many call him. I love the way this guy has been done. I actually had the original Sideshow, but I like this a whole lot better. Cool display, but you can actually go ahead and change them and put them in different poses if you like. Poseable, and just the way it is, it just looks more realistic to me. And this is one of the off statues that I have still in the collection, and is the Thor Sideshow piece, quarter scale, as you see. Very cool details and awesome switch outs. And as you see, even has some detail there on the hammer. This is the actual comic version from Thor. It looks very cool, and I love the base. That makes it very different compared to so many different Thors that we have available nowadays. But so far still in the collection. Not sure if it's going to be staying, but I like it, and it's a pretty good option as far as Thors go. The next line that I'll be showing is the 1/5 scale 4 statues, as you see here, from 2 different lines. We're going to focus here into the Master of the Universe. I think these statues from Sideshow are one of the best designed and well sculptured statues that Sideshow has done. I know that they pretty much stopped doing them after about 4 or 5 statues, but now Tweeterhead has taken over and they've done an amazing job, including the Horak and the additional pieces that'll be coming in. I'm thinking about maybe adding some of those pieces there into this collection because they really look very nice and very promising. First of all, we have Xmen here, 1/5 scale statue from Sideshow. And as you see, the base similar in most of the pieces, including the new tweeter heads also. Really nice details on the boots and just all over the place. Really nicely designed statue here from Xmen. And it pairs really well with Skeletor. Obviously, they did a little bit of their own take on Skeletor, but they did a great job. Sideshow really outdone themselves at that time when they were doing great work. Nowadays, it's a little bit difficult to find this type of great work. Some of their stuff now, it's a little bit iffy, but I'm happy to have this guy in my collection. Skeletor 1/5 scale. Awesome colors, awesome details on that face, and just an overall beautiful sculpture, and the paint application is right on point. So hoping that I can add more pieces to this collection, including Mermaid and a couple of others that are coming out from Tweeterhead. The next two statues here also from Sideshow, one of them really amazing, and the other one there was a lot of talk about the portrait that wasn't too great. But let's focus on Mumbra from the Thundercats, also a 1/5 scale statue from Sideshow. Really awesome, one of my favorite statues. Even though it's a 1/5 scale, this is very impressive when you see it in person, just because of the color scheme and a lot of detail just on the face. I think they did an amazing job, and I hope they continue this. I know I haven't heard anything new that will be coming out from this, but I definitely will be on the lookout and maybe take on some of the additional pieces for the Thundercats. But this is definitely the best one in that line, and it's Mumbra. Next to Mumbra, you'll find Lionel, which is a nice piece. I know there was a lot of controversy about the portrait not looking so great and looking a little bit too thin. I think it's a pretty good statue. They could have done better for sure, but it pairs really well with Mumbra. And like I said, I hope they eventually do more pieces. I know that Iron Studio took on the smaller 1/10 scale, but it would be great to actually have more statues to this 1/5 line from Sideshow. And as you can see, we have a section also in the collection for some of these statues related to cartoons and also to the comics there. And we're gonna be starting with Calvin and Hobbes here. It's a 1/4 scale statue that it was a custom statue. As you can see, I did a review on it in my YouTube channel. You can see that really nice design on this statue, and I like the way they are about to fall on the hill there, and it really looks kind of like an action statue for sure, and I really like it. Really nice colors and well overall designed statue. We move on to one of my favorites from the Warner Brothers. It's the Roadrunner and the Coyote here. Just like the cartoon, the Coyote is trying to get the Roadrunner, and you can see the action there happening. It's really nice. They capture the likeness of both of the characters, and it's a 1/4 scale, really nice, beautiful statue. I had to get it as soon as it was announced. I really like this one, and I'm hoping that they can actually do a couple of other scenes from other characters from Warner Brothers. Would be amazing if they do a couple of more. It'd be awesome if they do a couple of additional dioramas like this one, including Marvel the Martian and a couple of others. I think it would be great to have that in the collection. And here's another one that just came in not long ago, and this is actually a 1/3 scale because a cat and a mouse are kind of small, and it's from Iron Studios. This statue is really nice. I think it's a combination of PVC and also some polystone there. But I really like how they did this statue, and it looks really like both characters, and they captured pretty much the cartoon to a T because of all the craziness that they go through the cartoon. So really nice addition to the collection. Calvin and Hobbes, Tom and Jerry, and as you see, the Roadrunner and the Coyote. Another part of the collection is the video game section, where we have a few statues related to some of the favorite video games, and you're looking at the Super Mario and Bowser from First for Figures 1/4 scales. These statues are just beautiful, especially as you see them together. I was able to get the Bowser, the exclusive version. You see the flame there that actually lights up. It's really sought after now. It's very hard to find. You can still get the regular without it, but the exclusive is completely gone. Same thing with the Super Mario there, quarter scale, and this one is the definitive edition for figures, which has the bottom part, which is a little bit bigger of the Mario World floor there, as you see, and the additional accessories that come along with it, including that egg and also the flags of Bowser and Mario there. Really cool details on this. It looks just out of the video game, and we actually love this, and it's going to be staying in the collection for a very long time. We continue with the video game section here, and another franchise that's pretty big, very close to Super Mario and it's Sega's Sonic. This one is actually just came into the collection right before Christmas, and it's the quarter scale combination of Sonic and Tails there. And as you see, Tails holding Sonic above the floor there. This basically is right out of the video game, and it's on one of those floors that has a lot of fire, and it's really well done. Really cool details on this. We're going to be having a review. This is actually the wifey's statues, this one and the next one. She collects everything that has to do with Sonic. So that is the quarter scale first 4 figures, Sonic and Tails, and then the next one is the 25 anniversary Sonic statue, also quarter scale from first 4 figures. And this is a really cool because he has also a light up feature with a couple of different ways that you'll be able to see. And as you can see now with the light up feature there on the Sonic 25th anniversaries, he has a couple of modes going a little slow and faster, along with the little piece there that actually is part of the game. When you get to a certain section of the game there, that's actually going around. Really cool, beautiful stuff from First 4 Figures. Thanks for sticking to the end of the video. That was the end of the 2021 room tour. So thanks a lot. Check out the other videos on the YouTube channel. There's a lot of reviews there and many more coming up. Thanks again, and keep on collecting out there.